I remember during Thanksgiving, this girl that I invited ended up going under the table while my father was saying grace, and out of nowhere, she ends up pulling off my pants and touching my eggplant at Thanksgiving. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another insane but embarrassing story. So today's story all takes place back, I want to say, like, when I was in grade 10. And grade 10 was one of the most insane years ever. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a major player, and I really did not care about anyone but myself. This sounds really mean, but honestly, growing up, I guess I could say that I was really closed off from the world. Like, yeah, I was a player and interacted with people, but I only hung out with people that benefited me in some way. And I'll say this right now, it is not a good way of living. But me, I didn't know any better since I was in grade 10, and I remember around November in my grade 10 year, which funny enough, I'm actually recording this video in November, and as you guys may know, in November, Thanksgiving is coming up. And Thanksgiving, honestly, is one of those holidays that I really never appreciated back when I was younger. But now that, you know, I've gotten this far in life and gone through so many experiences, and thanks to you guys making these experiences worth it, I gotta say, I have a lot to be thankful for. Continuing on with the story, a couple months before November, I remember one of my old sneaky links ended up walking up to me. Now, this girl, she was a sneaky link before, but she ended up getting a boyfriend. And I remember when she came up to me, I was severely surprised. But then that's when she said to me, "Hey, Bubba, honestly, like, I feel really bad that, like, me and you, like, can't see each other anymore. But I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm happy with my boyfriend and everything, but I don't want to leave you empty-handed." To be honest, it was kind of insane that she put pity on me, but at the same time, like, she didn't know how many, like, you know, backups I really had aside from her. I ended up not saying anything and saying to her instead, "Oh, don't worry about it. It really means nothing." No, like, seriously, like, there's this one girl I know, she thinks you're super cute, and I thought, you know, I could, like, basically, like, you know, put you guys together. Okay, I'm kind of down, I guess. Who is she? And that's when she pulls out her phone and ends up showing me a photo of a girl that was, like, a legit 10 out of 10. Now, I remember when I saw this photo, I couldn't believe it, to be honest. Like, seeing a 10 out of 10 is kind of insane. To be fair, though, it kind of made me sad that I ended up becoming sneaky links with the uglier friend, but, you know, it is what it is. I remember I ended up saying to her, "Oh, like, I'm down to actually meet her. What's her number?" And that's when she gave me her number, and I ended up messaging her right away. I remember when I texted her, I tried to play it cool, and I'm like, "Hey, so your friend just told me that I should hit you up. So I was wondering, are you down to, like, hang out sometime?" I remember when I said this, instantly I got a reply back, and that's when she said over the phone, "Oh yeah, honestly, like, my girlfriend kept talking about you, and honestly, like, you seem super cute, so, like, I don't know, do you like dinner?" Yeah, I eat dinner. When do you want to go out?" "Oh, I don't know, maybe, like, tomorrow if you're down." Sure." And that's when me and her, we ended up going on a date, and well, one thing led to another. We realized we both didn't want relationships and started becoming sneaky links. Now, if you guys don't know the term sneaky link, because I realize that a lot of people don't understand it in this day and age, but a sneaky link is only someone that you hang out with when you want to do the devil's tango. So realistically, all the friends that were girls back in high school, I'm not gonna lie to you, they were all sneaky links. I don't just become friends with girls just because I can. Most of the time back in high school, I only had them as sneaky links. I know this sounds really mean and super objectifying, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know any better since I was a high schooler. But going on with the story, I remember when me and this 10 out of 10 became sneaky links, one thing I started to realize was that since she was a 10 out of 10, she was 10 times more freaky, which, to be fair, at the time I wasn't actually that surprised about, because one thing I realized is that the more hotter girls are, the more crazier they are as well. There's no girl that's super attractive and not crazy. At least I have never seen one in my life, even still to this day as I'm telling the story. But I remember me and her became sneaky links for a while, me and this girl, and we became sneaky links for, I want to say, a couple months, until November finally came around. And this is where things get insane, because I remember there was one time my sneaky link ended up coming over one night, and she came over, and me and her, we ended up doing the devil's tango. And I remember after we finished, she ended up staying the night with me. Now, it was a weekend, and I didn't think anyone was gonna be home the next morning, but the next morning when I woke up, I ended up waking up to my mom literally being beside my bed, totally confused on who in the world was the girl beside me. I remember waking up and I look at her, I'm like, "Mom, what are you doing here?" "Bubba, I came to give you your underwear that was in the laundry, but who is this woman?" And that's when the girl woke up and she's like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you, Bubba's mom." She started to introduce herself as if she was like my girlfriend, and that's when I had the great idea to say, "Oh, mom, this is my girlfriend." I remember both my mom and my sneaky link look at me as if I'm insane, and I felt insane for saying it, but I remember it was the only way I could get out of this situation without making me look like a total player. And mom, if you're watching this video, I am severely sorry. But after saying she was my girlfriend, I remember my mom ends up introducing herself and trying to be nice to the girl that I claimed to be my girlfriend. As for my sneaky link, well, she just played along, not knowing at all what was going on. And when my mom finally left my room, I remember my sneaky link looks at me and says, wait, so like, are we like actually dating? What? No, obviously, you literally said you didn't want a relationship. Well, I know that, but like, now your family thinks we're dating. Like, what's gonna happen when you tell them we're not? Well, I don't know. To be honest, that's a later problem. And me and her, we honestly just went back to doing the Devil's Tango, which sounds like a really bad idea at the time, but honestly, I wasn't thinking straight. But going on, I remember right after we did the Devil's Tango, me and this girl ended up going upstairs to the kitchen to get something to eat. And since my mom was home and already knew that she was, you know, existing in my life as my sneaky link, or technically for her, it was my girlfriend, I didn't see a reason why she should leave and go out the window like she usually would. But I remember as we got upstairs, my mom ends up seeing me and the girl, and she looks at me and says, Baba, don't you want to, you know, invite your girlfriend to Thanksgiving? I remember I ended up looking at my sneaky link, and she looks at me and she's like, I mean, I don't know, Baba, do you want me to come to Thanksgiving? And since she worded it like that, obviously I couldn't say no. Cause like, if someone says, oh, I don't know, do you want me to go? Usually the other person's gonna say, yeah, sure, why not? Even though they really don't want you there. So I remember I ended up saying literally those words, yeah, I mean, why not? You're my girlfriend. And that's when she ended up kind of holding back her laugh. And my mom ends up, you know, kind of giving me that head nod of approval that most parents give when they're trying to be low key, when in reality, it's not actually that low key. And now this is where everything just goes wrong. I don't know what it was, but basically I remember the day of Thanksgiving was the most awkward day, because I remember on Thanksgiving Day, I was in my room playing Call of Duty. And then that's when my sneaky link texts me. She texts me saying, hey, are you sure you want me to like still come over for Thanksgiving? I mean, yeah, why not? I don't really see an issue with it. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell my parents that I'm going to a friend's house and I'll be at your place in like a couple minutes. All right, sounds good, is what I told her. And I remember I ended up going upstairs and talking to my parents. I basically told them, Mom, Dad, my girlfriend's gonna come over, so like, just don't be embarrassing, don't be weird, don't be awkward. Just like, you know, don't say anything weird about me especially, okay? Oh, Baba, she's your girlfriend. She should know all about you. Not everything, you know, we're still like kind of new into the relationship, is what I told them. But I'm gonna be honest here, my parents really did not care. Anyways, as the time went on, the doorbell rang and my girlfriend finally came over, or should I say my girlfriend finally came over. She came over and said, hi, like, it's nice to meet everyone. And we all went straight to the dinner table to sit down for food. As we sat down, I remember something felt really off about my girlfriend, and I really did not know what it was. But I remember she ends up looking at me, and as we're saying grace, she ends up grabbing my leg. I have really no idea why she was being weird, so I ended up looking and leaning towards her while everyone was saying thanks, and said, yo, you good? What's wrong with you? Oh, I don't know. One of my friends gave me like this honey palette, and like, honestly, like, I'm really in the mood, Baba. Wait, what? Yeah, like, I don't know. You being next to me is like triggering me. It's triggering you? Are you good? Obviously, I didn't say that out loud, but I said that in my mind. So I thought the next best thing to do would probably be switching spots with someone and sitting across from her instead of in front of her. But that was an even more big mistake, because I remember when I sat across from her, she kept staring into my eyes and kept biting her lip really awkwardly. And me, I'm just trying to eat my turkey dinner, but she just kept going on with the lip biting and the awkwardness to the point where I'm like, yo, you need to chill out. Me kind of like saying it with my teeth kind of closed and trying not to make it seem like I'm really just annoyed. But that's when my sneaky link ended up having the craziest idea ever, where she actually ended up dropping a fork by mistake, or I guess, you know, jokingly by mistake, going under the dinner table, and she reaches straight for my pants. No joke, I started panicking. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't worry about it, is what she whispered under the dinner table, as if my eggplant was talking to me. And well, one thing led to another. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say anything more than the word Devil's Tango ended up happening while she was under the table. I remember my dad ends up looking at me saying, Baba, is it hard finding the fork under there? I don't know, I'll go down there and check, is what I said, really awkwardly moaning as well. And that's when I went under my family dinner table and I saw her, and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop. And I end up pulling up my pants and telling her, listen, after this we can do whatever we want, okay? But go back up there and eat your damn dinner. You promise? Yeah, I promise. Just go back up. I remember I ended up pushing her to her side of the table, and I went back on mine, and we ended up sitting down eating normally. And honestly, I gotta say, it was super awkward in that moment because I really did not know what to think. But after the dinner, obviously me and her, we went straight downstairs and we did the Devil's Tango just to get it out of her system. I gotta say, it was super awkward going through that entire thing. But honestly, I am never inviting a sneaky link to another family dinner. But if you guys have ever celebrated Thanksgiving, then follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.